Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This will be an 8-part complete project tutorial series showing you how to create KK House. Let's get started. So to start, let's open a new architecture template. So click on New, click the drop down and click Architecture Template and then press OK. Now under Architecture, we're going to add in grid line. So the icon will be right here on the right side, but you can type in GR for short and then click below and then above like so. After that, it will create a vertical grid line, which is number 1, and then you can click this and then click copy or CO, and then here we're gonna add in a copy, but before that, make sure to click multiple so that we could do this multiple times. So first will be 3500, and then the second is 6500. Press escape and then escape again. So next, we're gonna add in our horizontal grid line. So type in GR again. And then after that, click on the right side of here and click on the left side. So we created number 4, but we need to press escape and then escape again and zoom in and click on this, and let's change this to A and then enter. After that, it created a grid line, and then here it's still selected, so we could just click copy or CO, keyboard shortcut, and then here we could click the grid line again and pull it down, and then here we're gonna type in 6500, and then another one will be 5500. Press escape and then escape again. After this, let's clean up a little bit. So if you click the grid line or any of the grid line right here, you can see that there will be a dash. And what that means is once you pull this up, it will follow all of them. So here, we're going to pull this on the left side. And then here, we could actually move this all so that everything will be centered on the elevation arrows. Once that's done, zoom in a little bit and then let's pull this up. We're gonna add in our dimension. So I'm gonna click dimension, but before that, let's click edit type. And then here, we're gonna add an alternative. So here, click alternative units below, and then alternative units format, and then I want this to be feet and fractional inches, and then rounding off to half an inch will be good enough. So press OK and then OK. So now once we add dimensions, so I'm gonna add dimensions now. As you can see, we will have our metric and imperial. So everybody will be happy. So I'm gonna click on the dimension and then the overall afterwards. So here, from the grid line to the grid line, and then another one for overall. So now everything is added with dimension. We can now press escape and then escape again to finish the command. So before we add our walls, we will need to go and add our levels. So go to elevation. Most of the time I use south elevation. And then here, this will be a two-story house. So I'm just gonna click on this and change this to 3200. And then I could click this again, or this is already selected. And then I'm gonna create a copy. So CO, and then we're gonna pull this up. And then we could actually just type it 3200 again. And it created level 3. Press escape and then escape. We can now pull this up. So click on the bubble. And then now we could pull this all together like so. As you notice, I'm going to press escape. As you notice, we have our level 3, but it's not appearing here. So it's simply just go to view and then plan view, floor plan. And then here, this is already highlighted. We just need to press OK and it will appear right here. So our level 3 will be our roof. So now go back to level 1. We're gonna start by adding walls. So go back to architecture right here on the upper left and then click wall. We have our basic wall right here, which is the default. We will need to press edit type and then duplicate. This will be our exterior wall number 1. Press OK, edit type. I'm gonna maintain the thickness to 200 and I'm just gonna change this material to white. So I'm typing in white and then I'm gonna choose clad white or gypsum wall board. So I'm gonna choose this and then press OK and then OK and last OK. Now we could start adding our wall. So we're gonna start by going to C1. But before that, press escape again. We forgot to do is we forgot to set this to up to level 2. So now our base will be level 1 and going top to level 2. So once you do that, it will be exactly 3200 for the height of the wall, not 8000, which is the default. And then the location, like I like it to be wall centered so that when I create this, it's between the 200 thickness of the wall. So whatever I set the thickness will be in the middle of this. So I'm gonna click C1 and then all the way to A1. From A1, this will be continuous. So because the chain is checked, so this will be a continuous command. So now go to A3 and then all the way to C3. Press escape. Next, click on B1 up to B2, going down here. So around 3500 from B2. Click it again. And then just 1500 from that location. Click it again. And then click it all the way to C grid. And then close it off up to C3. So we have this. Now I'm gonna press escape and then escape again. So now this will be our carport. This will be our entrance. So I'm gonna place a door here for our entrance door. Um, I'm planning to add the stairs here and then the kitchen right here with dining and then the living room or family room, and we will have a living room also right here. And below the stairs we could add in like a powder room. So let's add in some doors. So I'm gonna add a door right here for the main entrance. So just press spacebar to change the orientation and then press escape. And then after that, let's insert some furniture. So I'm gonna click insert, load family, and then go to furniture. And then here we're gonna pick seating and let's add in the corbel, chair and sofa. So just hold on control and then click and then press open. And then once you do, go back to architecture and click component and you'll be able to add those. So I'm gonna add it right here. And then we will have our family room right here. And then don't forget about the chair. And then lastly, right here as well. I'm gonna click wall again, and I'm just gonna use the exterior wall as well, even though this is interior. And what I'm gonna do is around 1500, and then here, what I'm gonna do is press escape and type in TR, trim and extend. That is under modify and this icon. So here, maybe we could give it more as we have a lot of space here. So we could add in 1700 and then we can move this one around here. Now let's insert more components. So go to insert again, load family, and then let's add in some tables. So just go back, table. We're gonna add in coffee table for sure, and then dining table. I'm gonna add in this dining table and then the coffee table. So just hold on control and then click. After that, go to component and I'm gonna add in the table right here facing this way. And then go back to architecture, click component again, and here we're gonna select the coffee table. We're gonna place it right here in the middle. And then here as well. After that, we're gonna add in chairs. So go to insert again, load family, and just go back again and go to seating. And we're gonna add this chair and then press open. Go back to architecture and then click on component. Press your space bar to change orientation. So for now, I'm gonna add it like that. I'm gonna select this and then click draw axis. I'm gonna look for the midpoint of this table and then click, press escape, and then I'm gonna select this again, but I'm gonna go for the end to end. So now everything's good. I will have our kitchen here and then the stairs right here. And then we're gonna add a door right here. So I'm gonna change the orientation for this, and this will be our powder room. So for now, let's go and insert the toilet. So go back and load, go to the main, and then go to plumbing, architecture, equipment, sorry, go back, fixtures, and then look for water closet and then the toilet. Press open. So the error is I didn't escape the last one so that I couldn't load it. So just press escape if you cannot load it and then click on this, and then now you'll be able to load the file and then press component. I'm gonna add it right here, and then I'm gonna press escape again, insert, load family, and let's load in the sink. I'm gonna load this sink and then go back to architecture and component. Press escape once you add that, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to annotate, click detail line, and then click on rectangle. We're just gonna create like a work surface here, or the rectangular showing the work surface. So now this is good. We could make this actually big. So if you select this, you can select different sizes. So now this one's bigger, so we could rotate this 90. You could type in 90 and then it will rotate to 90 degrees. Press escape. This will be our formal living room. And then here I could just mirror this like so. So I'm just fixing this using my arrow key. And then here I will also fix this. And then I'm just selecting my arrow key as well. And then we could make this bigger as well by selecting it and making it bigger, like so. So for now, let's stop here and continue on the next video. Thank you for watching and hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna continue working on part 2 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the previous video, we were able to create our exterior wall, and then we added a powder room, our living room, and then we have our family room, living room, and then our dining area. And then we're gonna create our stairs, and maybe after that we finish creating the um, kitchen. So let's go to architecture first. Let's zoom in here, and we're gonna add the stairs around here. So click on stairs, and then after that we're just gonna decide how many desired number of riser we want. I want it to be equal, so at least 9 upwards and 9 um, below. So here I'm gonna start off by adding this going up. So I'm gonna put 9. So after that, I'm gonna click it there, and then I will go and add another 9 going upwards. And it created the landing. So here I'm just gonna add it around 1500. So that will be good. And then here I'm gonna click this and I'm going to move this. So around 150, or let's make it 1200. Here I'm gonna click this as well, this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. And then after that, I'm gonna click it around here and then click finish. And then after that, we could see that the stairs were created. And of course, we're gonna change this look later on. But for now, let's go and create our kitchen. And then here, we're gonna create our kitchen by going to insert and then load family. And then here, go back to the main, and right about here, just look for casework. And then here, choose countertop. And most of the time, I use the L shape with sink. I'm gonna press open and then go to architecture and click component. You can click the space bar so that you could orient it. So here I'm gonna add it like that, and then I'm gonna add this one. I'm gonna add an extension here, so just to show. And then we could put a wall here. So depending on the design that you want, we could put a wall here so that to differentiate the space, it will give it a better look. But then again, we want it to be open. So maybe let's decide later on. And then here I could put in the fridge. So in that sense, I'm just going to go to annotate and create a detailed line. And I'm gonna use detail line to create the fridge. So I'm using two rectangle and a line like that, and that will give it look. And then also same thing, thin lines. I'm gonna create a line like so. We can even change this line to a demolish line, or this kind of line, which is a dash line. So I'm using this so that to show that there's like a cupboard underneath. And also we're gonna add in an island. So I'm gonna go back and insert an island, and we usually have this, so it will just represent the island. And then click component, and as you can see it's big, but we could change the size of it. So here we could manipulate the size like so, and then we could just align it probably on this side. And as you can see, we could add in some um, chairs. We're gonna use annotate again, detailed line, to show that there will be the gas stove or whatever you want here. I'm gonna use annotate again, and then I use a circle, and then I'm just gonna use the draw axis to create four circle that will represent stove. And then let's insert some chairs, or we could just use this same chair. So what you can do is you can click this and type in CS or this icon. This is the create similar. And once you do, as you can see, once you type it, it's like you activate to create this chairs again. So you could add it. You don't need to look for it on the architecture component tab. So here, just gonna click copy and move it on the side like that. So now everything is good. We were able to create the kitchen like this, and I just noticed I need to erase that. That's extra, and we could just extend this a little bit like that. And I'm gonna center this there. So here we have this area, so maybe we could extend this area a little bit more. We could add in some decorative pieces. So go to insert, load family, um, go back to the main, and let's add in some furniture and then tables. We're gonna add in some nightstand. So let's add this. So nightstand, and then go back to architecture, click component. I'm gonna add a nightstand right here and right there. We could add it here as well. Press escape, and then let's add in more component. We could add in some storage. Let's add this credenza. So shelving and then credenza, and then open. Go back to architecture and click component. For the shelving, we could add the shelving right here to define this area. And then we could add in some um, nook here for reading. So that will be nice. Insert again, load family. And before that, actually, I forgot to add in the credenza. So let's look for the credenza that we just add. So I'm going to add this credenza. So I'm going to add this credenza right here in the entrance. And then let's insert more furniture. And then here we could add in the tables. So round table. So I'm just going to add it here. And then we're going to add more. And another chair. So let's add this chair. I'm just going to add the chair like this. And this is good enough. Let's insert more. So I'm going to insert some lights. So I'm going to add in this hemisphere table lamp. And before you add this, change the elevation to 650. And let's add it here. And then before we finish, let's add in the TV. So go to insert, load family. I believe this is under furniture. And we have the flat screen. And of course, we can make this bigger by selecting this one. and might as well add the stand. And this one, we have to change the elevation so that this will be shown more. So there we have it. We're gonna continue on the next video. Thank you for watching and I hope you like the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna continue working on part 3 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the previous video, we were able to create our kitchen and also our stairs. So here we're gonna continue working on this, but we need to go to level 2 to start creating all the walls. And as you can see, underlay is already turned on. If you don't have underlay, you just simply go to your properties and then go to underlay and make sure your range base should be level 1. And then of course, your top range will be level 2. So after that, you can now simply click wall. We have our exterior wall number 1. And what I want to do first is to add walls all the way to the outside, but we will start at A2. So let's start to A2 and we want to make sure that it's in the center. And before you click, make sure that you have level 3, wall center line, and this is chain. So now go to A3, all the way to A3, and then here all the way to C3. I'm just gonna zoom in so that I could see better that it's right there in the middle. And then here I want to add a little bit, so that's why I click on C3 so that we can see the addition of walls that I'm gonna do. So it is around 500, I think is enough, 500 from C3, and then I'm gonna cross it like this, and then this is around 3500, and pull it back to the C line, and we're gonna copy this now, so up to this floor or this wall, and then we're gonna go up around 700, and then now let's go at number 2 grid. So once you're there, just click and then go back to C2, and then once you click that, you will need to close it off all the way to C1, and then here we want to go all the way. So this is, I believe I remember this is 1500, I think, from B grid. So I'm gonna use this for now, and then I want to do it all the way to number 2 grid and all the way up. So now just a recap. This is 500 and then all the way to 3500, going back to C grid, and this is, I believe, 1500, and then go up 700, so 700, and then just copy it or go move it all the way to number 2 grid and go back to the corner here, C2, and then close it off like that. So just a quick reminder so that you know where to move. And then now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an interior wall. And then now that we have our exterior wall, we can then remove the underlay. So just click none and then apply, and then it will disappear. So now that's done, we can now click on wall again, and then we're going to edit this type, duplicate. This will be interior wall now. Number 1, press OK, and then I'm just going to double check. This will be same 200 thickness, so I'm happy with that. And then now we're going to add in our wall. So we're just going to extend this wall, but with an interior wall. And we're gonna add at least 3300 and then close it off. We might extend this later, so bear with me. And then again, click this one, CS, and then let's start adding this into this side, and then all the way to this. So now we could actually just extend this now. So we could type in TR and then extend this all the way there. So next thing, we're going to add a wall here so that we can close this off. So here, I'm gonna click on the wall again, and then we're gonna close this off. So we could use TR again to close this off nicely. So hopefully you guys are following. So we will have a bedroom here, a bedroom here. This bedroom will be very small, but we could extend this. So give me some time to think. And we'll also have a bedroom here. So now I'm gonna put this one right here. So this is, so the dimension is 3100, and then this will be 3900. So this will be 3900 and 3100. Okay. And we're gonna leave this one open like this. And then now that we can see, I'm gonna extend this one like that. So I'm extending this. I want this one to be 4500. So from this wall, supposed to be 4500, or if you want from B1 all the way here should be 2900. Okay, so let's leave that one here. So I'm gonna add in some couch here, and then they will have an access to this area, this will be like a balcony right here. What I can also do is we could edit this one because I want it to be flush here. So what I can do is I'm gonna edit it and I'm just gonna make this one 1300. I think that's enough. And then once you do, just pull it back by using your arrow key. There you go. At least it's better. And then what we could do is we could add in some doors first so that you can see where everything will be placed. So I'm gonna press space bar and I'm gonna add here, and then I'm going to add it here as well, and then here as well. And what I can do is I could maximize this space. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this all the way to the stairs. So this is around 4,000 now. And I'm just gonna simply add the door here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm also going to align this with this. So it looks much better. It's cleaner. And then click on the door and I'm gonna add the door right here. And couple of changes. I'm going to unjoin this and I'm going to move this one a little bit there. And then here I'm just pulling it up and I want to make sure that this one is selected, interior and CS. And I'm going to extend this one there. So this one is around 1700. So we have enough room to walk here. And then I'm gonna add an interior wall again. So CS. And then here I'm gonna extend this one like that. So this will be washroom, so I need to make it bigger. 1500. So I want this to be 1500. And this one, I could extend this. So I will drag it to unjoin. And around 1700 will be enough. I'm happy with this. So we could add in a door. So I'm gonna add in a door right here. And then we're gonna add in some sink, toilet, and a shower. Also here, we're gonna have our washroom right here. So I'm gonna click on interior wall, number 1, and I'm gonna connect it from here. We will also have our ensuite here. And then here, our closet. So I'm just gonna extend this wall like so. So we could have it like that, and walk-in closet. So to make it nicer, I'm gonna insert some bed. So here, I'm gonna use this, and then go back to architecture component, and we have double. So I'm gonna add double right here. So I'm gonna add it like this. It's because I'm going to add closet on this side. It should be on this side because of that, but we could actually add the bed like this so that we could have a nice view, or this way. Okay, so we could add it this way, and then I've decided to just add the closet right here on this side, or with the tables and everything. And then here, I'm also going to add the bed right here. The closet will be here, and we could have tables here, study table, and those kind of stuff. And then we're gonna switch to queen right here. And then of course I want to face it from the window. And then here, let's add the double as well. I think that's enough for this space. And then we could have our closet right here. Press escape and then escape again. And then maybe we could just add our toilet first. And we actually have our sink. So sink, let's add our sink right here, and sink right here as well. Don't worry, I'm gonna add a door there. And then let's add in, let's change this up and add our toilet. So I'm gonna add our toilet right there and right here as well. And we're gonna add in our shower. So with that said, we need to insert it and go back to the main, and then go to plumbing, architecture, fixtures, and then we could have this shower. So I'm gonna place a shower like that, but obviously you will have a glass door here and then the shower, but this is the only thing that we have at the moment, and I don't want to edit this. I just want to place it there, and then you will know the difference, right? So at least we have it there. um, and then before we do anything else, we need to add in, so I'm gonna extend this one, and then here I'm just gonna finish this off with a door. Obviously we need to squeeze it in like that. Here we have a lot of space Um, and I want to see here, maybe we could change this so that we could add more space here. But like I said, it's okay now. We could actually make this one, because I only put double, it's supposed to be queen, 'cause it has a lot of space anyway. This one as well, we could change this to queen. And this one is already changed. And then here, let's add in the stuff that we already added. So some sofa, so we could add it here, and the chair. And then let's add in the TV. So that looks good. So let's stop here for now and continue on the next video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to continue working on part 4 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the previous video, we were able to create the second floor. We started adding the beds and the toilets, sink, and shower. Now we're going to continue working on this. So we're going to click wall, and then we're going to create another wall. So it's going to be interior wall number 2. So let's edit this type and duplicate, and then press OK, edit, and then let's change this thickness to 100 only, and leave the material as gypsum wallboard. Press OK, and then OK again. And then here, we're going to add in our closet, like that. And then here, we're going to add in our closet over here. And then we have our walk-in closet right here. And then we could add this one as well, or a closet. After that, we could add in a detailed line. So here I'm gonna change it to demolished. It's because it's usually represent a broken line for the rod. So I'm gonna add 2 lines like so. And then here as well. And then here. And then we could use this demolish line as well for this walk-in closet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this off, and so I'm going to extend this wall like this, but I'm gonna open this with an wall opening like that. So now we could just move this back and change this. So move this as well. And this is just to represent that we have our walk-in closet right here. After that, Now that we have our two lines for representing the rod, we could then add a sliding door. So what you have to do is, let's go to insert, load family. This will be under door, so go back and look for doors, and then let's go and look for a sliding door. So go to residential, and let's look at, so not the pocket but the sliding door, which is this one. And let's just click open, and I'm gonna select everything, so holding shift and selecting the first and the last. Press OK, and then now go to architecture and then door, and then now we could add in our sliding door here, there, and over here. We're going to add in a side table. So go back to architecture and component, and then we're gonna add in the nightstand. So I'm gonna add this nightstand right here and right there. And then we can move this all the way to the ends. So give me a second. I selected the grid line, and then I'm just gonna take this off. Okay, now that we have space here to walk, we could then add the same nightstand onto this area. Here as well. And let's add it here. And we just need to move it with an arrow key so that everything is good and place accordingly. And we could also add it here and there and move it to the corner. After that, click component again, and let's add in the table lamp. And before you add, make sure to put 650 for the elevation so that it will appear here and it won't be added to the zero level of the elevation. So I'm adding it right there. So all the nightstand that we added, I'm just adding it there. Press escape and then escape again. And now we could look, if ever we miss anything, we could double check here. So I'm just double checking everything. What we could do is we could add in the TV. So I'm gonna add the biggest TV that we have here. Press space bar, and most of the time we add it in front of the bed. We already added there, so I'm gonna add it here. And then let's just move it a little bit so that it's not inside the wall. Okay, so everything is looking good. Um, so I want to add the windows next. So I'm gonna click wall and then go to drop down and look for curtain wall. So here I'm gonna add our curtain wall window. So I'm gonna add it like so, right here, right there, and I'm gonna do some design on this. That's why I'm adding three. This one, I want it to be three of them. So maybe I could just copy this. So I'm gonna copy this one like so, and I'm going to move this one. Okay. And then of course I'm gonna add something here as well. So same. And then for the height, we're gonna change it. And then here I'm going to add the same ball, similar to the other one, but around 600. So I'm gonna copy that. So don't worry about the sound. It's just normal because it's not being shown yet. So we need to cut geometry. And then this, I want it to be 3 as well. We have a design for this that I have in mind. Make sure that everything is on the same level. So like so, I'm gonna flip it onto the inside. This one's all from the inside, and this one, let me double check. So yeah, this one we need to flip a little, flip it. And then here we could add in the curtain wall again. And I want it to be a big one. So now what I'm gonna do is, so this one I'm gonna move it a little bit there, and I'm gonna add one more big one actually, because the design here is different from the design here. So I want to add one more. This is for the door. And then now go to your modify and click on cut geometry. And then you need to select the wall first and then the curtain wall after. And then you can see that this is being cut and it's appearing. Okay, I just want to double check that I have everything cut. And then now we could go to our south elevation. And then from our south elevation, we could see the design. We could change this to fine and then consistent color. So this design, I want to leave it like that. But this one, I want it to be all the way up, like so. And then now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to align it from there. So AL, and then align it here at the top. It's because we have a TV at the back, and of course we still want the natural light to come in. And maybe we could copy the height. It's because we still need to create some space there. Oops, I made a mistake. I'm going to use align again. Okay, so I'm just aligning them, and I'm gonna set this. I'm gonna undo that, and then now I'm gonna pull this up. I want to set this height for all of them. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back, and now it looks nice the way it was designed. We're also going to do that here. As you can see, we have our TV right there, and we need to pull this up like so. We're gonna make sure that too. So I want to know what side is this. I think this is the west elevation. Yes, that's correct. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to 3D. I'm gonna copy all the heights of these windows so that I could copy it to all of them. Okay, and then here we could pull this back so that we could move this TV around. So as you can see, we could just move this. Oh, sorry, not this one, but this one. Okay, and then let's go back to west elevation and let's fix this. This one is too small to have a door. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this smaller, and then I'm gonna copy the height of this one. Okay, and go back to west again, and then now this is 400, 400, and then let's align it again like that, and then let's align this height as well, and then this will be the door, so we can do that as well. For this one, I just want to set the height on this. Okay, and then AL, and then let's set this one at the top as well. And I believe we're done with the windows at the top. We need to do the windows on the bottom as well. Oh, and then I forgot this. This one, this is with the shower. So it's only for the top. So now I'm gonna copy this and this one. So now it's only the top, and I just follow this along. Um, I'm probably gonna change this wall. Call, yeah, this wall and also this wall. Let's change this one with a different um, finish or materials. So I'm just double checking. It's looking good now with all of this. So let's stop for now and continue on the next video. Thank you for watching and hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're gonna continue working on part 5 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the last video, we were able to add closet and then we added some curtain wall windows. And as you can see, we're not yet finished with the below and also at the back. So now we're gonna continue working on this. So let's go to level 1 and add some curtain wall. So here I'm in level 1, I'm gonna click wall and you just need to navigate to curtain wall, and then after that we could just add the curtain wall from the wall. So here I'm gonna do this all the way there, and we're gonna add curtain wall on this side as well. So here I'm gonna do click wall again, and I'm going to add curtain wall all the way here, and then here I'm gonna add as well, and then here I'm gonna add a small one. And I'm going to add the one at the side as well. So here I'm going to click wall again, and I'm going to add it here on this side. And then after that, click modify and then cut geometry. You click the wall first and then the curtain wall. So wall and then curtain wall, wall and curtain wall. After that, go to 3D. We need to pull them down like so, and then pull up like this. And we're gonna fix that later on. Here as well, pull it down and pull it up. And what we could do is we could set up the height for this. So like that. And then I'm going to align this. And then align this as well. But I'm gonna put it all the way down. This one I'm gonna copy. And let's copy the height of this for the front and the height for the lower. Here I'm gonna just copy the one at the top. So align this, and then this one I will pull it up just like that. I just want it to be small enough, like so. Okay, so now we could design this. So I'm gonna design it by adding curtain grid. So here I'm gonna design it like this. So probably around 500 at the top. And then click curtain again, curtain grid, and then 500 as well here. So for now it's 400, this one's 500, and I'm gonna align them all together. This one's 500 and this one's 500. So I'm just copying it like that. And then we need curtain grid again to make this like so. This one I'm just gonna make it from the bottom. And then this one, all segmented again. I'm going to go to south elevation. I don't like the size of the wall, of the window. So I'm gonna make it shorter a little bit, like that. So 4,000, that's enough. And then I'm gonna get the curtain grid and divide them. So it's exactly 1,000 each. After that, I'm gonna click mullion. I'm gonna go 3D, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm selecting all grid and not the 150. I want it to be 50 by 65. I think that's enough. And then now we need to click on all curtain grid so that we have our mullion. I will need to maybe delete one of those. Okay, I forgot here. I'm gonna fix that. I forgot to put some grid lines. And I'm gonna fix this, so I'm going to add grid. And probably the grid will be 500 at the top. Okay. And then here as well, 500 at the top. And then I'm just gonna add one segment, 500 here, 500 there. So this kind of design looks better. Maybe I could use that on all. So this one I'm just gonna add like that. Let me see if I already added. Okay, I added the window there. So that kind of design, I kind of like it to be added here. So maybe I could delete all the mullion first. So I'm deleting not the mullion but the grid line. Actually, I'm just gonna delete the one in the middle. And there we go. Same look. Okay, so that's done. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add floor. So I'm gonna add floor for level 1. So here I'm going to go to architecture and click floor. I'm going to edit this type, duplicate floor number 1, edit type, thickness around 200 is enough. And then here we could go to stone or flooring. I'll do stone, so I'm gonna use field stone. Press OK, and then OK, and then OK. I'm going to add this one. So I'm gonna use pick line and then all the perimeter. But except for the parking. We're just going to go around that parking. So I'm gonna type in TR, trim and extend, and once it's done, click finish. So the flooring for that is done. And then next, let's go second floor, level 2. We're gonna add the flooring, but from the inner side. So here, I'm gonna edit type, duplicate. This will be floor number 2. Edit type, change the materials. I like mixing different floors. So here, I'm gonna go stone again, but maybe I'm gonna add um, wood. So I'm gonna use marble for now. Apply and then OK and then OK. Now let's add in. So let's go back to level 1. I want to make sure that I didn't change this. So see, I was um, I didn't change it. I was able to change it with level 2, but now level 2, and then now I'm gonna press escape and click roof floor again. I want to make sure that I'm selecting level 2. So sorry for the confusion. And then after that, I'm gonna pick line, and then I'm going to the inner of the wall. Oh, not that one. I'm gonna undo that. So all inner. And then here, I'm gonna use TR, trim and extend to extend that. As you know, we have our balcony here. And then here, we just need to type in TR to clean this up. And I want to make sure everything is done. And click finish. Don't attach. And then let's look at it at 3D. Okay. As you can see, we need to pull this down. So that's done for that one. And this side as well. AL. This part will be harder because we need to pull this down. So this wall is, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in some fillers, or I'm gonna show you so it's easier for us not to pull anything up, down. For this spot, it's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create an extrusion or a sweep. Sweep, I believe sweep is enough. So let's do it again. Model in place. I'm gonna sweep, pick path. I'm gonna use 3D for this. And I want to make sure that I use TR to trim and extend this. But I'm going to pull this out. So technique is click this and then TR this so that you know that it's only up to there. Okay, so now I'm gonna delete this now, so it's only up to there. But here we need to pull this out manually up to here only. I think that's good enough. And then here we just need to add. So we're done with picking that path, and then now edit profile. After that, you can see that we could fill this up. So just we can even create a design. We could extend this a little. Okay, so we'll make this 300. And let's see. Click finish, and as you can see, it kind of created this design. So it looks good. Um, I'm gonna set the materials. So here I'm gonna change this to probably parking stripe for now, because I don't know what kind of color I'm gonna put this one in, and I kind of like it. So maybe I could do it at the top as well. So it looks good the way it looks. Okay. And then let's add in the roof for this. And of course, we're gonna use a flat roof. Um, I'm going to click roof. It will set to level 2. And then I'm gonna edit this type, duplicate. This will be our roof 1. Press OK, edit type. This will be white. We're gonna choose the same one, gypsum wallboard 200 thickness. Press OK, and then now let's go to level 2. That's supposed to be level 3. Okay. We're going to pick line. It will be the inside. And I want to make sure that define slope is turned off. So I'm gonna undo this first and then uncheck this. And then now we could do it again. Okay, so now let's use TR to clean this border. And I want to make sure that everything is connected and trimmed. So now click finish, and then base offset is -200 so that it's flat. Look at it in 3D, and then what you have to do is select this one individually. Use control so that you can select multiple. So once we select everything, similar to what I'm doing right now, click this and click the roof, and it will disappear. This one again. Oh no, not this one. Click this and then click the roof. So that's faster than clicking it individually and putting negative on negative 200. So at least that's easy now. So I'm planning to just extend this wall upwards so that to just show a difference in height. So I'm just looking at how am I gonna do this. So maybe this one will be best to pull up a little. So I'm just looking at my perspective. So basically I just wanted to have a difference in height so that it doesn't look flat, but it's just for design purpose. So that this will work. I would like this one, so AL, and we could just even put an extrusion here so that it's like squared. And here we could actually extend this one as well, the sweep. So it looks good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint this lower. I would like this lower to be white. So I'm going to paint this face. So click paint and gypsum wallboard. So that will be white there. And also for this face, I'm gonna change this. So this one will be a different, maybe a stone for this. I would like this one to be stone. Um, maybe this one will be a different color, or I will put it here. I'm still gonna put something here, like a design, maybe. And then maybe I could change this as well. So now I'm going to create an extrusion for the back of this. Oops. So another generic model, extrusion, and then for materials, let's figure that out later on. I'm gonna set this. So pick a plane. I'm going to select this as my plane and click this rectangle like so. After that, click finish. As you can see, it's extruded, and then I'm going to change this. So maybe another stone. I'll use slate for now, and then click finish, and then I'm going to align this on all. So now I would like this face to be slate as well. So I'm going to go and look for slate. Okay, so I'm gonna select this and paint this. So I'm gonna paint this, I'm gonna paint this, and the top faces of this and I'm going to do this as well, because if I click this, it will be showing here. So I'm thinking, what should I do with this? I will look into it once we send it to Twinmotion, so that I could see. I want to see if it's showing. But for now, this is good enough. So I'm gonna leave this one like this. I'm thinking if I should extend it more, but this one will look good enough. I could go to south elevation so that I could set this design. I'm thinking another model in place, a square or a C. So generic model, and then extrusion. Pick a plane. I'm gonna select this plane, and let's do it white first. So gypsum board. Okay, and then now let's design this. Or I could just do this. It's easier for me. And then click it again. Offset of 100. Click spacebar so that it's inside. And then click finish. And I want to see it. Click finish again. And we could just manually extrude it. So it looks like this. I would like to put it all the way here. And maybe we could change this face. So I'm gonna go back to hidden line, and I'm gonna click split face, and I want to split face this face. So I want to do this. So now this is split now. As you can see, I could select this. You can now change this material. So here, let's look for something that we haven't selected yet. So I'm gonna choose, I think brick, I haven't used it. So I'm gonna use brick for now. And then go back. And as you can see, it's a different finish. because it has some hatching. So we're gonna stop here for now and continue on the next video. Thank you for watching and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna continue working on part 6 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the previous video, we were able to start designing the exterior, especially in the front. Now I'm gonna continue working on this. So here I'm planning to extend this. So I'm gonna edit in place and then edit sweep and pick path. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to pick this path and I'm just gonna extend this one a little bit there. And here I'm going to manually extend it all the way at the end here. And then after that, I'm going to click finish and then finish, and it's simply we're just extending it like that. Click finish again. And then here, what I'm planning to do is I wanted to cap it off with an L shape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to architecture, component in place, and generic model. And this will be generic model number 4, extrusion. I'm going to set this. I'm gonna pick this plane, and I could go to south elevation so that we could see it better. After that, I'm going to click on rectangle, and I'm gonna add in this rectangle. So it's gonna be 100 by 100. I think that's enough. And then TR. So I'm gonna trim this, and then I'm gonna remove the excess. I think this will be good enough for the design. And then click finish. And then before that, let's set the material. So I'm gonna click parking. I think that's the same one with the below. Yes, so with the same one with the below, so that we could set this one at the same one. So this one I'm gonna just extend it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change it a little bit by extending it on this side. So now it looks nicer. I could even extend it all the way here. So up to this one. And I'm not worried with the other ones. So I think that's good enough. We can even add a sweep here, so that we could set a different materials, and I could put a neon light on this area. So that will be nice. And here, just a big change is maybe we could just move it all the way up. So I'm picking a line, and I just want to move it all the way up and all the way at the side. So AL, this side to this side. Let me see if we could do that. So it didn't work. So maybe I'll just undo it because I rather have white at the back and then this is a different, maybe a stone finish than not having it at all. So I'll just leave it like that and I have at least this design on this because I'm gonna change this with a different finish as well. This will be white and this will be probably darker gray. So that will be good. And then here, I'll just simply do it as white here. Leave it like that. And then now, let's go on the back. Let's go to level 2. I'm gonna add in the same wall here. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna type in CS. That's create similar. And I'm just gonna add this one. Then I'm gonna pull this down. So before that, I'm actually going to add the wall first, but I'm not gonna pull it all the way. It's because I want to pull this down and then connect. So I'm gonna pull this down now, just a little. We can even do extrusion on this, but maybe this is faster. So now I'm gonna connect this and then connect this one as well. Okay. You can even double click on the wall and you could do it as well on that, but it depends on you now. So I'll just do it like this, so it's simple. And then now I'm gonna add in a curtain wall. So click on the wall and then curtain wall. And we're going to pull that down as well. So don't worry about that. And then here it's simply we're trying to connect. I think that's good enough. And then now all we have to do is pull it down and then let's pull this up. Okay, pull this up more like that, and then we could align it. Okay, so now it looks good. Then let's add in our parking garage or our carport floor, and we could actually add our boundary wall. So let's go to level 1 and then click on wall. Let's use exterior wall, but we could edit this type, duplicate, press OK, edit type. We're just gonna change this one to probably stone. So here, let's use this one. Click apply and then OK, and then OK again. So now I'm gonna click rectangle and I'm just gonna add rectangle like this. I'm just estimating it for now, and then I'm gonna delete this and click on this, and now we just need to pull this down. It doesn't need to be too high. And then AL, and we're gonna set the height accordingly so that everything is at the same page. This one, we could pull this out or leave it like that. We could add a pool, or depending on your design, you could add a pool as well. So it will be grass on all, and then we could just add. So now go to level 1, and then let's add in our path here. So this will be floor number 3. So duplicate floor number 3, and this will be concrete. So let's use this. Press OK and then OK. And to do it fast, we could add this. And then here as well. And then use TR to trim and extend. And then click this. And then pick line. And then TR this. So now everything is good. We can actually extend this just for the shot. So I'm just extending this, and then I'm going to align this boundary walls. So we have this done. Now the grass part. So click floor again, duplicate. This will be floor number 4, and then let's choose grass. Pull this up, and then apply, and then OK, and then OK, and then OK. Now we could use pick line again, and we're simply going around. So with this, we need to go around this. And then we could just create a line right here. And then after this, clean up. So we need to clean this up, all the corners, make sure everything is connected. Here we need to clean up, we need to trim this part. We need to go around this wall. And we're good. So click finish. So that's done. I'm gonna edit this wall. So like I said earlier, we could edit walls as well. I'm just gonna create an opening here and click finish. So you could basically do that. So there's an opening there. I want to change this door, and also we need to add doors for the back and here as well. So here we need to insert the load or load the door first. So door, and then this will be curtain wall single glass. So I'm gonna open this up. So once you do, you need to select this wall. So just hover over the curtain wall, click tab, if it's not appearing. So it needs to be like this. Click it and then go down here and it will be loaded. It's not loaded yet because we need to click find. As you can see that it will appear the handle, and then you need to go back to level 2 so that you could change the orientation. So right now this is a perfect orientation, or we could just put it like this so that they could access it and push it from this area. Now let's go to level 1, go to 3D. It's easier to see it on 3D. Click on tab, and then once the panel is selected, you can click it and then change the door. And then go to level 1, check if you like the orientation, which is this way. So that will be good. And then go back. And as you can see, um, fine is already selected. So it's showing the doorknob. So if you have it in medium, it's not gonna appear and it won't appear on Twinmotion. So you need to set it to fine so that it will appear here and in Twinmotion. I'm thinking of changing this material here. Um, I could just simply change it using, um, so this will be white, right? Um, this will be darker gray, and I could change this material as well. Um, let's see, maybe a wood or something. So I like changing the materials, especially for wood and stone. So maybe I could do that here, but we'll see later on if that's a good idea. I'm thinking of adding mullion as well for the top. I think it looks good, and maybe on the side as well. So that will be good. So now I'm just checking if I miss anything. So I have an idea of changing. So before I do this one, I want to change this. So I'm going to insert a different door. And maybe we have residential. I'll use this vertical. I'm going to select this and then hold shift. But before that, make sure that you don't select the door first, and then just go to insert, load, and then go back and load it, and then shift again and then press OK. Same to load family types that are not going to be used, take up additional. Yes. So now that's loaded, we could exchange this. Now I'm gonna select this and change this to this one. So I'm gonna same around 800 by 2000. So that will be nice. As you can see, there's a doorknob, so it looks nicer. The basic one, which is already a default, is without a knob. So I'm gonna change that. And then this one, I want to change the materials on the inside of this. So I could use paint, but if you could see, this is an extrusion. So if in order for you to use paint, because if you go and modify, um, and if you use paint, it won't change this one. But you have to, because this is extrusion, you need to go inside, edit in place, and then now you could select paint, and then you could now change this material. So what I'm planning to do is I'm gonna use carpet. I think I haven't used this or any wood, but I don't know if I use it already, so I'm not sure if I used this already. So maybe soft lumber or wood thick. I'm gonna use this wood thick. So I'm just gonna use this one and select only the inside, and it will look nicer. So everything will be white, but only from the inside, and this one will be changed as well. So click finish, and now it will look nicer. So that's good. So let's continue this on the next video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna continue working on part 7 of this house build. Let's get started. So as you can see, our build is turning up nicely. Um, First, I'm just gonna change this to consistent color so that it's not hard for the computer. And also, I'm gonna extend this one. So as you can see, the border wall needs to go down a little bit. So I'm gonna change this to base offset um, minus 200 because that's the thickness of this wall. So now everything is nice. I know the shot will be here, but it looks like we need to extend it a little bit because I think we need more space for the view. So I'm just gonna extend this one a little bit like so. And then AL so that it's easier to do. And then AL again. Uh, let's do the AL again once we're finished. So like that. And then edit this boundary and then use AL or align so that it's easier to change. So that's done. Um, what I'm planning to do is I'm gonna extend this one a little bit. It's because I want to add lights here. So in order to do that, I'm planning to add a small sweep. So here I'm planning to do that by going to component model in place. This will be a generic model. This will be 5, and I'm gonna set this one as a sweep and then pick path. So it's easy. I'm just gonna use this, and then here I'll make sure that this is TR, so trim and extend so that this will be extended. It's harder to see now, so I'm gonna change this to hidden line so that I could see it better. Now I need to extend this one a little bit like that. And then here, as you can see, where I first click, this is where we could add the model. So I'm gonna click finish and then edit profile. Now I'm just gonna add a small one, maybe 25 by 25 will be enough. And then this will be 25. After that, click finish, and then before that, finish again, and then change the material. Make sure it's not yet selected, the material that you're gonna use. I think I haven't used the linen white, so that will be good. So I use linen white so that I could put neon colors there or neon light, and then click finish. And then I will do the same thing on this side. So this will be good. Um, Now, same thing, same idea. Model in place, generic model. This will be generic model number 6. Sweep. We're gonna pick the path. I want to make sure that I pick all of the corner and it looks good. I'm gonna finish that, edit profile, and use rectangle, and just use this and change to 25 by 25. After that, click finish, finish again, and then set the material before you click finish the last time. So now will be the neon light, and that will be good. So this one, I could change this. So I'm going to split this face. The reason for that is this is white. I, as you remember, I changed this to white. Now I want to change this to this color. Okay, so now I'm gonna add this line, and that line represent the change that I'm gonna make. Click finish, and then now I could select this, and I could select this and change the material. So now I need to know what material this is strip. So I'm gonna click paint and look for parking strip. And now I could select that, and if we double check with realistic, as you can see, this is the same materials as that, but the remaining of the floor is similar to this, which is gypsum wallboard, so white. So it's good to have to know how to split faces, especially with extrusion and with this. So let's go back to hidden line. I'm still contemplating if I'm gonna add a pole. So we have this one's there. We could add lights here. So now I want to double check my camera view. So I'm gonna go level 1, and I'm going to check my camera view like this. So it will look like this in Twinmotion. For the people who doesn't want Twinmotion, we could go hidden line, back to hidden line, display graphics, cast shadow. You could do sketch lines, and then we could change this. Let's do a background, gradient, click apply, and as you can see, it looks nice now. Let's try inconsistent color. No. So hidden line will be nice as well. You could do sketchy lines. So you could enable this and you could change this depending on your design. So as you can see, it looks nice as well. So I could just leave it like that. So at least I know that my view will be good. Um, it's just it's up to me to add more component. Um, so depending on how I like it, we could add in swimming pool at the back or just leave it like this. And then also we could, we're gonna add the cars, bikes or whatever on Twinmotion. They have a good blocks there. And then for the boundary wall, we could add in some lights. But that's what I'm gonna do in Twinmotion. Um, let's see if we have something like that. I believe we have something like that in Revit. Um, I know in lighting and then wall. We have some wall pack, so something like this. Then we have some internal. So maybe let's go back and use the external. I'll use this wall pack light, and then I'm gonna open it and then click on component, and then we could add this one. Let's see if we could add it here. So it looks good. I could use this. Um, so this one we could add it as well on this side. So I'm gonna mirror this. Let's see if I could mirror it, or I could just use an align. Okay. I want to double check what height is this. Elevation is, let's make it 1200. 1300. Okay, so let's do 1300 so that it's easier. Okay, and then now let's go back to level 1, AL. I'm gonna align it from probably this. Okay, and then after that we could create a copy, or let's just move it at the back like this for now, and then get it again, copy multiple, uncheck constraint, and then just simply add it 35. So I'm just adding it every 3500. And then here, lastly here. So I just noticed, I think it's too much. Maybe every other. So I'm just deleting it. I think it's too much that I added like that. But I could do this in CS and add it on this side. So at the back, but it's not something that it will be shown. So maybe I'll just leave it like this. And then maybe I could erase this or delete this, select this, select entire project, and then I could just move it all the way here. So that's more than enough. Okay, so I think that's all that we could do in Revit. And then on the next video, we're going to do Twinmotion tutorials. So how I'm gonna add grass, the materials that I'm gonna use, how are we gonna make this light, and then anything else that we could design this, some furniture, and those kind of stuff. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna continue working on part 8 of this house build. Let's get started. So now that our model is done, we can then now export this to Twinmotion. So here you need to be on 3D, and then you could click C in Twinmotion. Twinmotion will open. This will take a while, so I'll be back once Twinmotion is open. Now Twinmotion is open. We could click New Project, press OK, and then now we have it on Twinmotion. As you can see, we have everything set up like this for now, but we're going to fix this. So what I'm gonna do now is you will need to save Twinmotion first. So now that you saved it, we could start changing the materials. So here, let's first go here on the right side. We could go to materials. I'm going to change the materials of the windows. I'm going to use dark tinted, and I'm going to heighten the opacity. Go back and let's add in the neon lights. So neon. Here, I'm gonna set this as a neon, and as you can see, it looks nicer. After that, I said that this will be wood. So let's use chestnut, and we could pick up the scale, and as you can see, it looks so good. So we could make it bigger, so that's good. I may want to go back to Twinmotion, or sorry, with Revit, and change this as well, as I like the look of this. So maybe later. Um, and then for the gypsum board, I might change this to this. So now we change this to the base concrete, and let's change this as well to concrete base context. And then I want to change this to fine concrete. I can make it lighter, so lighter gray. That will be fine. And then here, I want to use Quixel, surface, and then stone. I think I like the granite, so I'm gonna choose this. Or something, this one. Let's try this one. So I'm gonna choose this. I think this is nice. And then the reflection, I want it to have a good reflection. And then here, let's look for different one. Or my all-time favorite stone pattern. It's under materials on Twinmotion. This is the one that I like the most. We could use this one here. And now it's starting to look nicer. Maybe the opacity of this is too much. I think 90 will be good, so that we can still see the inside. Let's change this one to wood. So let's go to wood, and then let's choose a veneer wood. So I don't like the look of this. Maybe mahogany will be nice. Yeah, mahogany will be good. And then I want to change the materials of the inside. So this one I probably would use stone, granite, and the white one would be good. Or this. Okay. I will leave it like that. It's not something that will be shown, but I don't like it when it's being shown there. So I'm gonna check the wood here. Maybe they have a better veneer. So I'm gonna check this one. Yeah, this one's good. I'll use this veneer. And then I want to double check this. This is aluminum. I'm gonna change this. So chrome, and then make it lighter. And then it will be on the same one as well. For the, or we can make this black. Something like that. So now this one needs to be lighter. Veneer. Let's try this. Ash. And I forgot to sign in. And I want to see this. I think I think the oak is nice as well. So, or maybe cedar. Yeah, oak is nice. Okay, so you can make this one like that. And I'm still contemplating if I should add this one with wood or just leave it like this for now. I'm gonna change this to concrete. So materials, concrete. Okay, so that will be good. And then let's do some settings. So of course our camera should be always on. Visual effects, I always like blue tint. As you can see, it looks nice. It looks warm. And then location, let's set this one to August or September. Let's change this to North America. June. So I'm still contemplating if I should add something here, but maybe because this one's too dark. But still like it though. So maybe I could just change or isolate this first. So before that, save your project. And then here, let's isolate this floor. As you notice, if we check in Revit, we added this, but it didn't show. That's something that I noticed as well. Uh, every time I send projects into Twinmotion, but you can do export FPX and it will be shown, or you could click here and export to FPX again. Make sure you put it to the location that you're gonna stick with, and then you could just import it here in Twinmotion, and I believe it will show. So that's something that I noticed that yeah, sometimes it doesn't show here. That's why uh, I just rather do it manually here in Twinmotion and add it individually, similar to other projects that I did. So now I'm just gonna isolate this. It's because we're gonna add. So let's go to context. We're going to add some grass. So here I'm gonna click lawn and then click lawn and drop it actually. Click this first. Density is 100, and then click it again and then click this vegetation paint. Now this will be grayed out and you can select the diameter. Um, most of the time this will be enough. So I'm just adding it like that so that it's fast. So now let's see um, if we zoom in. Yeah, it looks good. We can make this one smaller and let's try adding more. But I believe that's the maximum that we could add. Now we could press escape. So we could try and select the floor again. If you cannot, just do this and then right click again and isolate. Now we have our grass looking like this. You can do some settings. You could make it smaller, the size, the dryness. So maybe 10%, 15, and then some stripes. So now I'm gonna put this back to 50%, around, sorry, around 35%. Dryness, 10% is enough, I believe. I'm not gonna use this, and I believe that's good enough. I'm gonna increase it. I don't like the look. Yeah, I'll leave it in 50. So this one looks much better. Let's put some details. We're gonna add some trees as well. I want to double check if we could add a different neon, the one that is blinking. So the glow, you could set the glow right here. Because I know there's like blinking ones. Yeah, this one is nice. I think it's blinking nicely. And we could change. So that's good enough. And then go back to settings and let's change the time of day. I don't like the bounce of light. So I think this one is good enough, like this. So around April and this time of day. Let's add in some cars. So 90, one is facing like this. Yeah, I'm gonna choose red, darker red would be good. And put it like that. I want to double check what I did here inside. I know that I'm not gonna be showing this, but I just want to see this one. We could pull this up like that, And it's because we're gonna add in some grass here and some trees. So before we leave here, let's add in some bikes. I'm gonna leave it like that. Looks nice. I'm still not satisfied with the light, the way the light is, the location. And then let's add in more. I might change this area. I want to put a concrete here or some pebbles. So let's see. So my shot will be like this. I'm gonna delete the background. So I'm gonna choose none. It will look like this. Let's add in some lights, area lights, it's important. So here I'm adding area light. I'm gonna move it back a little. Click tab and turn it like this. And then we could, I'm not gonna change the color, but the intensity, I want it maybe 50, or let's leave it with 300 for now. I'm gonna copy this, so hold shift and then pick it up like that, and then an instant, and then I'm gonna create a copy again. This one is another instant, but we're gonna turn it around. So now we could turn it like that, so it looks much better with lights like this. And then now our shot will look like this, and it's very much clear with the lights. Even though we set this one there, we will have some trees here. So let's add some trees. And another another way to add is just by clicking this, and we could just add like that. So individually we could add it like this. Okay, let's escape. So now it looks like this. We can now go back to settings and weather. We're gonna add in a little bit of clouds, but I kind of like the blue like this, and I like that there's like reflection shadows of the leaf like that. So I would like this kind of rotation, as you can see, this one is oriented differently, so you could select this. So you can fix it by clicking on material picker. But actually I'll just leave it for now like this. I could just do it later on. And then here we can actually add some um, steps here, and then we could add some tree or bushes or something like that, small. But I want to change this first. So I always like going to quick sell 3D assets, and then this is street and then curb, and then I like those modular curb thing that they have. So similar to this one, I like adding this one. So just turning this around 90 degree, and then adding this one to this corner. And then here we could hold shift and then add it like that. I think this is 0.8, and then we could add a lot, maybe 15 is enough, and then press OK. Let's see if 15 is enough. I believe 15 is enough, and it looks nice like this. We could move it a little bit, so hold control and select this so that this will be selected, and then move it a little bit on the left like that, and then we could add it on the other side. So I'm just gonna hold shift again and then do it like this, And then once we're here, we could just move it exactly where you want it, like that. So like that. And we could do some cleanup for this side. So something like this. And then like here, like I said, we're gonna add in something. So I'm gonna delete some of this. And in what I want is I'm gonna do it in Revit. So I'm gonna pull this back and I'm gonna do it in Revit instead. So before you do that, make sure to save your Twinmotion. Save, so Control S, and then click on Revit so that you can change it now here. Go to level 1. I'm going to edit this boundary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this. I'm estimating around 1700. I think that's enough. And this will be hollow now. And then we could just add concrete here. So a floor again. So click floor. Let's duplicate this. This will be floor number 5. We're gonna change this to another concrete. Masonry unit. Let's use that. And then we're gonna change the thickness. So 300. And then we're gonna use this to pick line. And then use TR, trim and extend. And then click finish. And let's look at it at 3D. I want to pull this up 100. Something like that. And let's change the one here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to split this area. So I choose that space and I'm gonna do this. But I think I need to erase this because this is the one in the edge. So I'm just wanting to change this or split this. So now we could click on paint and we have to change this to a different, so maybe this textile plant black, and we're good now. Click finish and then we could see it in Twinmotion again, and there you go. I think this is perfect. We just need to shorten this, but it's under there, it's not gonna be seen anyway, so let's leave it like that. I kind of like this one, but it will still need to change this. So let's go materials, ground, man-made. Let's choose this. And let's look for maybe cobblestone. I think that's good, or something looks realistic. And let's add in vegetation, detail grass, no, bushes. This one's too big. Let's add in agave. I think it looks nice. Three more. I'm going to make this 200. And we want to make sure we add trees in the front so that for reflections. So I'm gonna add this one, but it looks like it froze, so we're gonna wait for that. Okay, so I'm gonna add this big trees right here. Let's move it a little bit like that. There. I want to know if I could squeeze in one more. And maybe this is not the good one. Let's use the pebble. I believe that looks better. Um, it's under material, ground, and nature. And we're just gonna scale it a little bit like that. We could add in some. I think this is good enough. So this is good enough. We could add in curtain. I'm not gonna use this. I'm gonna use this curtain. I'm gonna turn this around 180 degrees. This is something that won't be shown, so I'm just gonna select it that and pull this up and do it on the other side. So at least we have curtain there, and here we're not gonna add curtain there. And then here I'm gonna add in some lights. So I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna add this. And I'm gonna pull it right there. So probably I'm gonna add it everything. But before I add this, make sure to add the light so that you could select them all together. This one I'm gonna put it at 10, the intensity of the light, and then the color, yellowish color. Okay, and then we need to select everything, and then we could copy. But before we copy, I think it's better to assess how much are we gonna put. So every 6 meter, and then this one will be, I believe, 2 more. And then let's select this again. So I'm just selecting everything so that I could copy it. Hold shift and then copy on the other side. Press OK and then turn it around 180 degrees and then pull this back like that. And I want to pull this again and I want to add something here. So I'm gonna use the first one. So holding shift and then you can navigate there. Hold shift, create a copy, an instant copy, and then I'm gonna add it onto this wall. And pull this up like that. And then we're gonna add in some pot lights. So those lights, I have this one right here. Okay, and then pull this up like so. I want to make sure that all the way to this one, and I want to put my speed to 1. Okay, and then now let's add it. Before you add it, actually, let's add in light. So another spotlight. I want this one to be changed like that. Change the intensity as well. And the color. This one will be 10. And the color around this. Now we need to select both and then hold shift and add it like this. So I need 3 more. Okay, so that's perfect. I'm gonna use this one, the original, and gonna create a copy. This is for this one. want to make sure that this is being shown. I'm gonna add it in the middle, and then of course I'm gonna add it on this side as well. So I just want to move it on this side. So I think that's good enough. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.